I know, it's hard for you to work out, it's hard for you to exercise, after 2 weeks your motivation runs out. I know. And you know as well, you know the cycle. Monday morning, new me, new gym membership, new playlist, new protein powder, new creatine, and then week 1, you're on fire, you're posting stories, you're feeling alive, but then week 2, the alarm goes off and your brain's like, not today. By week 3, the gym is already a monthly donation. And that's the thing. Every time you step into the gym, your mind turns into a sabotage factory. Every muscle that's hurting becomes testimony that you're just not cut out for this. All the sweat becomes evidence that fitness is just rejecting you. And while this is already so difficult, then the diet comes along. This tastes like cardboard. This costs a fortune. I can't do anything without my sugary coffee. Every nutritious bite feels like a punishment. And what happens? You start weaponizing your failure. See, I knew this was not meant for me. And just like that, you split humanity into 2 categories. The ones who are naturally fit, who have it together, and the ones who are permanently broken. And you've sentenced yourself to the second category. And while you sit with that verdict, every day you're a little bit more exhausted, a little bit more heavy, a little bit more imprisoned in a body that's decaying. And that's the thing. Your body is the only vehicle you'll ever own, and you're destroying it. I want you to think about this. Would you drive a car years without an oil change, without maintenance, without tuning it up? You would probably never do that. But that's exactly what you're doing to the most important machine in your entire existence. For your body, there's no trade-ins, there's no upgrades, there's no warranty extensions. Like, this is what you get. And when your body breaks down, everything breaks down with it. Your energy becomes low. Your mind becomes foggy. You start having mood swings, terrible sleep. Your mental resilience becomes weakened. And that's before we even talk about the actually serious health risks. Every single area of your life, your career, your relationships, your creativity, your ability to handle stress, it all depends on this one physical transformation. And you know what the biggest lie is? I'm just not a fitness person. Let's be real. There are no fitness people and non-fitness people. There are people who haven't found their way to move yet. Maybe running is not your thing. I know it's not mine. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's swimming. Maybe it's just playing with your kids at the park and saying, I don't have time. That excuse, you have the same 24 hours as everyone else on this planet. If you can scroll on your phone for 2 hours, you can also move your body and take care of your health for 20 minutes. And I want to tell you a story about myself. 3 years ago, if you had told me that I would be hitting the gym 3 to 5 times a week, I would have laughed at your face, because for most of my life, I said I hate sports like it was an impenetrable shield. I was not just bad at physical activity, I was allergic to sports. I was the master of making up creative excuses, the person who always felt like an alien in any form of anything athletic. I'm just not built for this, is what I would always say. And you know what? The beauty of claiming to hate sports was that it shut down all conversation immediately. How do you argue with someone who just said his preference? I hate sports. What are you gonna tell me? That I don't know my own feelings? And that becomes the perfect unassailable excuse. And then one evening, looking at my body that was drifting further and further from anything that I would want or expect, the truth kind of hit me. That this is not about love or hate. This is about self-care. I don't enjoy going to the dentist, but I went every 6 months. I'm not super thrilled about paying bills, but I do it because these are things that are non-negotiable when you're an adult. Taking care of my body simply was not a priority before. And I'd spent years dressing that neglect as some personality trait of I don't like sports. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I still don't love working out. I don't get out of bed in the morning thinking, oh, I'm so excited to go work out. But the feeling afterward, knowing that I stood up to my word, that I took care of my body, that I put my health first, that's the real pride. And that's what pulls me back session after session. The hardest skill in the world is not to exercise, it's not to work out, it's actually doing things that you don't want to do. And this is what nobody tells you about overcoming the excuse, I hate exercising. By overcoming that, you're not just building a better body, you're training the most important life skill there is. Doing things that you don't want to do, but are necessary for life. And what do I mean by that? I mean that the discipline and the ability to push for resistance, it does not just stay in the gym, it spreads everywhere in your life, just like a good virus. In work, you stop avoiding the hard tasks. In relationships, you start having conversations that you've been putting off and have been too hard to talk about. In finances, you stop ignoring the numbers. In personal growth, you stop waiting for motivation and just start showing up anyway. The person who can drag themselves to the gym, even when every fiber of their body says no, is the person who can do anything. And here's what makes this an advantage. Most people in the world cannot do this. Most people in the world live their entire lives only doing what feels comfortable. You learned to override that. You learn how to show up even when it hurts. That's the real excuse to advantage. That's the E2A. You hate in sports, that was the training ground for an unbreakable will. Now, if you hate working out, before you pick a workout, ask yourself one question. Here's one of the most significant tools in my life. I call it the 10-year rule. Before every decision related to exercise, to nutrition, I ask myself, and you can ask yourself as well, can I stick to this routine 10 years from now? And here's the thing, that one question changes everything. It shifts you from short-term thinking, how do I look good this summer, to long-term thinking, how do I build energy for life? Not extreme diets, not impossible workout plans, just exercising 2-3 times a week consistently over years. That's so much better than intensive training for a month and then quitting after 3 months. The second thing I want you to do is to find an activity that matches your personality. You hate going to the gym? Don't go to the gym. Do you hate running? I hate running. Don't run. Are you a social person? I would try group classes. Do you like the quiet? I would go swimming. Yoga. Do you like results focus? Short, intensive workouts. Stop forcing yourselves into activities that you hate. The priority is always to find a movement that doesn't feel like punishment. And one more thing, stop using I don't have time as an excuse. Use the time that you already have in your day. Stretching while your coffee brews. Breathing exercises while you're in traffic. Push-ups while you wait for the elevator. These times add up to 30 to 45 minutes a day. You already have the time. You're just not using it. That's it, guys. This is excuse number 5 out of 75 in the Excuse Bible. If you always feel like you're at war with your own body, the link for this beauty is in the description. There's so many more excuses there and so much that can help you develop as a person. Let's go.